Alright, so ever since that person asked me that question, how I think I'd pair against like the top MMA fighter, just got me thinking about other things as well. So I'm just making some videos on that. So basically, I was just thinking about the same question: how would I think I pair with against Bruce Lee during his his peak of development, and how I feel right now, because I feel that I feel like that I'm at the peak of my not at the peak of my development, but this is, I think I still have more room to grow and to even get better. So, but as how I feel right now, as far as my skills and abilities, my honest assessment on how I think I'd do if it was just me and Bruce, you know, out in the streets or out in the forest or whatever, and we had a real street fight, you know. But I don't like to think of it in a street fight. It's more like if we sparred, how I think I'd do with him. Um, I think I do pretty well. Honestly, I think that when he died, he didn't weigh that much. I have more weight on him, and I feel that I have more strength on him. I feel that he wasn't as strong as I am. Um, he does definitely have the speed, but that's a given because he weighs less, and that's what his primary focus was a lot of speed. But at the same time, I don't think that speed is that important. As far as like the tactics of the combat situation, I feel I have that down, and I know exactly what I need to do um, for efficiency and practicality, and that I'll do very well against them. You know, as far as my ability to overtake them, I think I would be able to. And that's my honest assessment. But just that's just how I honestly would feel. I mean, but it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm trying to make it seem like I'm better than him. It's just that that's just how I honestly would feel. But obviously, if he was a lot, if during that time, you know, he would feel the same way. He would think that he could overtake me. So we're just both individuals that think we could overtake each other. But it doesn't have to get violent. It's just more like sparring. Just with controlled sparring, like who would be able to overtake the other person. And but I just feel this is pretty much how I feel. I feel so confident of my abilities that anybody smaller than me, there's no way they could overtake me. That's how I feel. Like weighing at 145 pounds, pretty much anybody smaller than me, I could take them all out. That's how I feel, about my abilities. So, because he was not, at my level in the strength wise, I think I'd overtake him. But it doesn't really mean much though. No matter what I think, um, it's not like I'm out there to prove it, and there's no way that I even could prove it. And even if there was a way, there's no his level of fame. Say he was alive at the peak of his game, his level of fame, there's absolutely no incentive for him to even allow me to prove it because he doesn't get anything out of it, and I get everything out of it. So I prove it on camera, and then what? I get fame just for doing that, and that's it. Whereas he worked so hard to get to his level of fame, there's absolutely no reason for him to even accept any sort of challenge, from anybody. And if we were friends, we would just have to spar privately and nobody would know, you know, what the outcome would be, because he needs to protect his fame, his reputation. You know, just because I'm better at sparring doesn't mean shit. What big deal? You know, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's just he still has all the fame and fortune and recognition, and he's not just gonna give that up for nothing. Just because somebody else is better at sparring than him, um, there's so much other areas of development that are important. Um, I mean, that's not just what it's all about, you know, and people just don't get it, you know. They just don't get it. But that's how I honestly would feel, because I feel like I trained very hard to get to where I'm at, and that you know, I learned a lot from him, and basically his technique, you know, learning his techniques or learning his way really helped me express and develop myself to a much higher level than I ever would be at. Um, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's just sparring. Like, who cares? You know, that's like not even that big of a deal. You know, I just see sparring as just like another aspect of development, just like not that much more significant than just like bench pressing or squatting or bicep curl or military press or running or sprinting. It's just a part of the development, you know. And like what got him famous was not just his ability to spar or fight. It was just, you know, he got into acting. He's a really good actor. He had the opportunities, and he's a good teacher. I mean, there's a lot of areas that he was really good at that made him into the person he was. It wasn't just about the sparring. So it's just like these people that praise these fighters just because they fight well. Like, what else could they do? I mean, if that's all they could do, it's just really silly, you know. So, but when there's a specific individual that I could pair myself up to, I could give an honest assessment, you know. But when it's just like some random thing where you say, oh, the best MMA fighter, oh, I don't even know who you're talking about, you know. So it's hard to to give my opinion on somebody that where I don't even, it's a fantasy figure, like I don't even know who you're talking about. It's like saying how I would spar against Batman or Spider-Man or somebody like that, where they don't even exist. It's just a figment of your imagination, you know. But as far as Bruce Lee is concerned, I feel like I'm at a higher level of development. But that's just my honest that's my honest assessment. Of course, everybody's gonna hate, you know, think I'm arrogant and conceited for saying that, and think that I'm not even close or whatever the case may be. But I don't care what they think. Like, this is what I think, and this is what I feel. Now, obviously, Bruce Lee's not gonna, he's not gonna be like, oh yes, he can. I mean, the fact of the matter is, he needs to protect his fame and protect his reputation, because his reputation is grounded upon him being the best of the best. But you know, but that's just how I feel, and it's not in his place to prove me otherwise, because there's no incentive for him to do that. You know, he has no benefit whatsoever. But even so, just because somebody's better at sparring than him doesn't mean that they're the next Bruce Lee. You know, so there's so much more aspects to the martial arts development that has nothing to do with just sparring. So But that's how I honestly feel about it.